Hi guys, welcome to King Technologies. Today we are going to learn about HTML. HTML is the first step in web development and this video is for absolute beginners. You don't need any prior experience to learn HTML and start your web development. So let's get into it. First thing, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It describes structure of a web page. You can create a complete website in HTML. It's not a programming language or scripting language, it's a markup language. Basic building block HTML have is tags. So next question come in your mind is what is tag? You can see is like this is like HTML tag that defines that we are going to write HTML, and after that this is head tag. This will like give you a info about this like a header part, and after that we have a body tag that defines the body of a web page, and you only see the title and the what you write in body. After that how you write a tag. So tag have like a start tag and in between the content, and after that we have an end tag. Tags have attributes that have like attribute name and the value of the attribute, like language is equal to English, or width is equal to 220 pixels, kind of that. And this is like a basic page structure of HTML. After that, the current version of HTML is HTML5, and HTML5 have like header tag, then navigation, then an article have like multiple sections, then we have a site tag, and then a footer. In this way we'll describe a web page in HTML5. Don't worry if you don't understand all the things, you will get more clarity when we do the coding. And in this video I'm not going to use any CSS or JavaScript. You can build a website in HTML, but there is no color or any user interaction, so it's look a bit ugly. But we are going to learn CSS and JavaScript for making colorful and interactive websites in future videos. We need only two things: a web browser and a text editor. Web browser maybe like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, anything is like good for HTML. And after that we need text editor for writing our HTML files, HTML code. I prefer VS Code because it provides code completion intelligence. Okay, that's enough talk. Let's get into code. So open your VS Code. You can download VS Code by going code.visualstudio.com, and I'm using Workspace, but when you open your VS Code you will see a button here called Open Folder, and after that you need to choose a folder. Then I'll just create a new folder, HTML, and then click on Open. I will add because I'm using Workspace. So you will see an HTML here. Then just click on this file and type index.html. Created a file. After that, first thing you need to write is doc type HTML. This will describe that we are going to use HTML5. After that, we need to define HTML tag. This will describe that started our HTML. After that, we need to define head, and in this we can define title. It's called HTML 101, and in after head we need to define body. So in body you can define like types, sections, kind of thing. And so this is like a basic HTML page, and you don't need to write all this. You can just write exclamation mark and you will get snippets. If you enter, you will see this is like a basic boilerplate VS Code provide for us. You can also use like HTML5. This is like same, and I recommend you can download live server extension for going live server. This is the extension you can download. This is going to be very helpful for us. So if you go to index.html and open your command palette and type live server, then click on open with live server. This will open this file in live server for you. With the help of live server, you don't need to refresh the page all the time. Live server will do it for you, and you can also use like autosave. So whenever you just write something, it will autosave for you, and live server will refresh page for you. So if you write like h1 heading and type heading, 1, you will see heading 1 here automatically. How you write comment in HTML? So you can use like control question mark for creating comments in VS Code, and you need to use first less than symbol, then exclamation mark, then 2 minus symbol, and VS Code will autocomplete for you, but that's like 2 minus and greater than sign. In this way you write a comment in HTML. This is a comment. Okay, after that let's talk about types of tag. So there are two types of tag: block level tag and inline tag. Inline tags. So block level tags are div, section, all the headings, paragraphs. They are all block level tags. What that means is, I'll just use a little bit of CSS, okay, to demonstrate you that what is block level tag. See, if I use background color red, then you will see this like getting all this block. And if you use like a span tag, this is a span tag, and in this, if I use style background color blue, now see this is taking this like this, only this space. So this is an inline tag. If you use like a couple of span tags at the same time, you will see this take like this the line in inline. And if you use like multiple headings, then that will take this a block. So inline tags are like span, image, or anchor. These are some of inline tags. These are two types of tags. Let's just remove it for now, and I'm going to run it to style. It's like CSS. Okay, after that, let's headings are of 6 types. So H1, H2, H3, 4, 5. Let's do H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. These are 6 headings. H1 is like the like maximum size, font size, and H6 has like the smallest font size. You can also increase and decrease the size by using CSS also. Next tag I'm going to talk about is paragraph. P tag simple. This is paragraph tag. So this will give you like a paragraph thing. These both are like text type tags. And let's talk about some attributes. Okay, so there's like a one attribute, then you can use in like any tag, that is title, heading 1. It will give you like this this box, this black box. You see heading. This will not appear in this. And you can use title in like any tag. Okay, like if I use in P and paragraph, and you will see this. You can also use title in body. Title, this is body. So if you refresh, you will see this is the body everywhere. And the next attribute I'm going to talk about is class. That's also you can use in any tag. This will use to define like styles. Like you can use H1 and define your own style in CSS. And next thing I'm going to talk about is ID. This is same like class, but different is ID is unique for every tag, but class is like class can be same for a couple of tags. And some tags have their like specific attributes. We'll talk about when we discuss their particular tag. Next thing, we have an HR tag. That means an horizontal ruler or just a simple line, you can say. It have a width attribute. Then you can define like 50%. so it will like be a bit small. My default width is 100%, and you have a break tag also, so that's BR. Line break, if you use line break, it will give you like a space of a line. When we when you like do coding like simple HTML, then you need these breaks, but you can achieve this same thing using CSS also, like by using margin, top, bottom. So next tag, let's talk about some styling tag. So if I use P, let's put a comment here. These are styling tags, and let's do something. HTML is awesome, and you can use it. You can use it for creating a website. Okay. So first tag I want to talk about is strong. So if you use strong tag, and you could and anything in between strong tag, that will be like bold styling. You can also use bold for B, sorry, bold B same as strong. Okay, let's just put strong and B here. B. The next tag is strong B I tag for italics. So you give like italic. Let's increase the characters. So you will see this like get italics, and this can same be achieved by EM tag also. EM. Okay. Then next styling tag is mark for highlighting. You'll get this yellow highlights. Next tag is small. It's gonna be a bit different. Okay, let's remove this. But just for demonstration, you are not going to use in real websites. Then we have next tag is DL for strike through, or like showing that this line is deleted. Okay. Then we have INS for underline, and we have super for superscript, and we have sub for subscript. So these are some styling tags. But in subs like used for like defining formulas, kind like if you want to write 2 to the power of 2 in maths, so you can use like 2, then SUP space SUP and 2. So this will give you 2 to the power of 2. Space. And if you want to use like in chemistry, you can use sub for like H2O. So if I use sub H2 and add O, let's use a break here. So also H2 there. In this way you write formulas using super and sub. Next thing, let's talk about list. So we have like 3 type of list, that is ordered list, unordered list, and data list. Okay, let's first talk about ordered list. For ordered list, you need to use OL, and in the OL tag you need to use LI. For OL means ordered list, LI means list item. So OL1, OL2, and OL3. So you will see this 1, 2, 3. And if you let's use something meaningful. So let's use car, bus, and train. Yeah. So these are like simple ordered list, and you can change this 1, 2, 3 by using type here. That's also an attribute of ordered list. So you have like 5 options for type. You can use capital A for like ABCD capitals, and small a for small ABC, and I for Romans, small Romans, and capital I for big Romans. After that we have unordered list. For that you need to use ul and li again. It's just that this tag will make the difference. Then li, let's call computer parts. Okay, so monitor and the CPU, board, and mouse. So this is like a simple unordered list. The next list we have data list. So for that we need to use dl. Okay, then we have dt. dl means data list, dt means description term. So let's call maths for description term. Then you need to use dd for describing definition. Okay. So maths is a full subject. So you will see this like a indentation a bit. This is like a term and this is the definition. In this way we can use data list. You can create like any number of data list. Yeah. So let's talk about chemistry and chemistry full subject, or in this way you can create like multiple data list. Okay. Let's do the upside. That will be true. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is table. So for table you need to use table tag, and that you can use the head for defining your header, and then tr for row, and in that you can use th for like column 1 and column 2, column 3, column 4. I'll show you a trick. Okay, not like a trick, it's an attribute, border 1, but it is now depreciated. Okay, so we provide border using the css, but let's just take it from now. Okay, and for body you need to use tbody first. After that you need to use tr for table row, and in that you need to use table data dd. So let's call it cell 1 and cell 2 and cell 3. In this let's call cell 4 because we have 4 columns. So in this way we define a table, and if you want to use like multiple rows, just copy and paste and paste. So in this way you can define like multiple rows. This is like 1 1 1 1 2 1 2 1 3 1 4, and this is 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4. This is 3 1 2 3 2 4. So you'll see this is like first row first column, first row second column, first row third column, first row fourth column. And you don't need to define this t head and t body, but that's for good for like describing your website. Okay, you don't need to use this. If you remove this, then doesn't change any a bit in your table. This highlightation comes from the h tag, and this simple table cells are from td. Okay, next tag I'm going to talk about is label. We use label in forms. In this we need to provide a for, and in this we need to provide an id for like when we use an input tag. So let's call this email, and next tag is input. So if you use input, you need to provide a type here. Let's call it email, and in that you need to use name for like email also. This is used for like getting data in servers. Okay, next thing id for working with JavaScript for this input. We use these tags in like form tag for like getting data from user. So let's do it in form. Okay? Form. In form you need to provide an action. Action means that in which file you need to send this data, send the form data. So we generally use like any PHP or Node.js for this. So for form.php. After that we need to provide also a method for post and get. Get is not like a safe method. It will send the data through URL, and post is like secured. It will send the data through headers. Don't confuse in get and post. It's like if you want to use an like unreliable unsecured method, then use get, and if you want like any you are sharing any confidential data, then you use post. And we have like a couple of more attributes in forms, like autocomplete, on and off. You can on it, so if you fill the form, auto completion will be done by the browser. If your website have some like cookies stored by browser, then it will be like auto completed by your browser. Okay, you can use like no validate also, then no validation is done by like any HTML or like your browser. Okay, and you can also use like target. So target have like 4 options. Target means that when you like submit the form data, then your data gonna be like on this page, on any other page or window. So you have like 4 options in target. You control if you do like blank, parent, self, and top, and parent. Generally we don't use target because we generally save the send the data through this like current tab only. But if you want, you can use blank also. I'll show you what the blank means in just couple of minutes. Blank. Okay, let's create a form. Use div inside, then use label, and label for like name, name, first name, and after that let's call first name. Okay, and let's use input. We'll use like a couple of things. Yeah. So if you use input and this colon, and if you use like text, I'm using image, and these are like cool images that will like you don't need to write like the start tag or end tag kind of things. If you just like input colon text and press tab, it will do this for you. Input type, text, name, and ID. So you need to provide a name, that's called fname, and ID same, you can take it as same. Okay, so this will give you like this input box in a form. Okay, if you want, you can also use like field set. Field set is another tag, and field set will give you this box. Okay, you can use legend, and let's call it form solution, or we can say it like the contact form. Contact form is not good. Let's use that. Okay, so this will give you this form. After that, you can define your like input text, so you will get this. Okay, and let's couple of this. Alright, let's write it down. Dive. After that is the label again for like tell name. Then for email, and keeping this email, input type email, and plus tab you will see email and email. Okay, and let's use a couple of breaks here also, so you see a bit like space here. And this is an email form, and let's use input submit button. So if you use submit, it will give you like a submit button. Okay, let's input submit. Okay, so value gonna be the name of the button, so we can use like submit or submit for form. Let's put some so you see this. And if you use type email, it will give you like a bit of validation. But if you are using non-validation, just do it for now. And if you like write name, like write name, king tag, and king tag 2017, @gmail.com. Okay, if you do the submit perform, get to the next page. Next page is come through because of this target blank. If you don't use target blank, then just resubmit the form again. Okay, and then so if you click on submit form, and now this data is submitted in this same page. And if you use like method get, then this data will be shared using URL. So it's like name equals string, and plus is like in the replacement of space, and is used for like next. In this way you work with forms. You can also use like post here. If you click on submit and you don't see any data in like URL, that's because of the post. And form.php haven't like defined, that's why it's saying this page isn't working. Okay, in this way you work with forms in using post method. We have like a couple of more form inputs. Let's work with them. Let's use a dive again also. We have like these are all the inputs. Okay? Email, image, file, and month, number. So if you use password and pass and pass, let's use maybe and for pass. Okay, so if you see this password and if you do a refresh, you will see the password here. Okay, so password is like automatically by HTML come in this dotted forms. Okay, because of this type is equal to password. Okay. Next thing, let's talk about and then dive and label. It's called range. Okay. Range and input type range. So range gonna be like range, name can be anything you want, and in this you need to provide min, that's 0, then max, that's 100, and you can also provide a value. You can provide value in any input field. That will be going to be like initial value. Okay, let's call it like 70. So we'll see this like a range thing, range input, like get data from this value. When you like increase or decrease the range, the slider, the value gonna be changed. Okay, and you can want to talk about like a useful attribute. You can use like placeholder for like enter your name. So this will like a permanent thing. If you type something, it will remove, and if you like backspace, then you will see this placeholder enter your name. Okay, like if you do like anything and we have refreshed, the value will be gone, but placeholder don't go, it will stay. So we use placeholder for this. I like this a lot. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is range submit. Okay, let's talk about data list. How you can create a good data list in the form. So let's go input list. Okay, input list. It's not sure. Let's do it. Input type list list, and let's close it. Okay, we provide a name list and ID list. And just and we do like the type. Don't want to. So if you use like a data list, actually not type. That's list equals name. Let's call browser. This name of the list. That's browser. Browse. Okay. And after that, you can use like a data list. Okay, that's called DT. And after that, you need to provide options. So we need to provide an ID for DT. That's ID equal, and ID gonna be for same for this. Okay. Browser. Okay. And after that we need to provide option. So value, I usually use value and name to be the same, like edge and Chrome. Data list. Data list. Okay. That's good. This is data list. Okay. Then after that option, value, and Firefox. So if you don't need to refresh, but if you see this arrow, and you will see all the options, and if you start type, so it will give you this hint. Okay, you can like make this add in like any number of options there. This is like a tool. Okay, and you can also achieve a bit of same by using select. Okay, select name will be like cars, ID will be cars, and in the, also you need to provide option and value. Let's copy this value. Copy and paste, and if you do this is other than to like Toyota and Ferrari and Tesla. So this will give you this so this will give you like this pop-up menu for like options. Difference between this and this, you can also like provide different things other than this, like Netscape Navigator. Netscape Navigator. It's a very old browser. Yeah, we have like these type of forms. Okay, range and data list and select. Okay, you can make a like tool or some form for a website using these attributes, using like a couple of attributes. Okay? Next thing I want to talk about is images. So for image, you need to use img tag, and in that we have a source attribute and an alter attribute, alt. In source you need to provide an image name. So if you see, I imported like 3 images: 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3.jpg. So you're going to use like 1.jpg, and after that we need to provide an alteration. If this like image is not found, like if you do like 133.jpg, that is not available in the folder, then you will see this alteration. So 133. So you will see this 133. Okay, this is the alteration, and providing alteration is like now it is like a must for like SEOs kind of stuff. So if you do like 1.jpg, you will see this image. Now you see the image is very big, so you can use like width attribute here and make it 150px. And if you provide the width, height will follow that. Okay, you can also provide height, but if you provide only width, then height will follow. If you provide height like 100px, that's good. So height will be changed. Okay, you shall see the change in like I'll make it big. Okay, but if you don't provide in height, width will, height will follow the width. Okay, in this way you will work with image. There also like a picture tag. Okay, in this picture you need to provide a source media. Okay, media you need to provide some like min width or min width. I'll show you what this means. Just a sec. It's called min width to be like 650px. Okay, and in this SERC set you need to provide the name of the image. So we have 1.jpg, and you can provide like couple of source. So let's go second to be 465. 465 px, and the image gonna be second, and default image, let's call it. We can provide also image in src. Space up for this. Let's copy it. That's gonna be fine. Then you provide it through here. Okay. So if you provide these two images, let's just comment that for now. Okay. And you will see this image, and if you do like this small, you will see the image is changing. Okay. And in this way, you can provide like different images for different width, height. You can use like max height also, and different things also. In this way, picture tag work. You don't need to use it like in the initials, but at some point of time you will need it. After that, let's talk about abbreviation, ABBR tag. Okay, in this, title is a must thing. World Wide Web. If I use like title in World Wide Web, it's same title as we like in the discussed before. So if you use www in the www, okay, then you will use it in the same title. Internet is used and have 3 layers: surface, dark, and deep. We want deep tab. Okay, let's use www here. Let's okay. So this abbreviation tag will provide this like a dotted underlines, and if you hover it, you will see this like this is used for abbreviations. www means like World Wide Web. In this way, you can use abbreviation tag. Okay. After that, we have BDO tag for bidirectional objectives. So if you use BDO, and we have like two options for that, L and R. I'll show you what that means. First, it is L. Okay. So if you write anything, hi there, you will see nothing difference. But if you change to LTR to RTL, you will see this like right to left. It will be like mirror to right to left. Okay. In this way, you use it's bidirectional overrides, no objective overrides. And we have Q tag also for quotation. If you write anything, time is everything. Time is everything we have. Okay. So it will be give you like an inverted comma and like inverted comma. In this way, you can write quotations. And we talked about a lot of tags. Okay. There's also a pre tag. Okay, it's PRE. And if you write like P tag and PRE tag, it's called predefined. So if you write like ABC space ABC space ABC space ABC, and if you provide like a couple of space in between, then you will see this space in here. This pre means as you defined in the code, you will see here. Okay, if you don't use pre, it's coming down for now, then you will see these space are removed by like HTML by browser. So if you use pre, that will be helpful for like styling also. These are some last tags. That's KBD. That's for keyboard binding, showing the keyboard bindings. So if you want to show any keyboard shortcuts like Control plus S, Control plus S, that is used to see. So you will see this Control plus space in like a bit of different, and you can provide like different styling for this KBD tag. Okay, these are like general conventions to use. If you want to show any shortcuts in your website, then you use KBD tags. The last tag I want to talk about is anchor tag A. Okay, A have like this href. Href is hyperreference. A tag will provide you a like hyperlink. So if you create next.html page and you can go to next, you will see this go to next. It will like act as like a button. We don't talk about button also. So if you click on this button, you will see will redirect it to next page. Okay, so if you create a next page, next.html, and in this we have html5, and in this way let's put an e tag and href index.html, and let's go back. Okay, to do it first, you will see go back. Okay, this is because of this. If you click on go back, you will redirect it to back, and go to next, go to back. In this way you can create like your website hyperlinks to another pages. Okay, in the a tag you can define a target, that same like form target, and in there you can define like blank. We generally use blank, and because self is default and parent will like act as same as blank. Okay, so if you refresh and hit go to next, and if you go back, you will see the index.html page is opened in new page. Okay, in this way the target work. Okay, and then let's talk about button also. Button is like a simple tag that will give you like a button function, right? So you can look at this is button. Which are it's before this. Yeah, this is the button. Okay, if you click on that, nothing will happen because we don't do anything. Nothing provided. You can use like on click here, and you can do like provide any JavaScript here. You can also wrap it in like anchor tag. Let's go to change our anchor tag here. So if we do like, and let's go to next to this. So we'll see this button go to next, and if you click on it will go to back. It will go to next.html, and if you click on back or click on this go back, you will see this button go to next. I think we covered like basic all the tags. We have like more tags like very much like map, source, canvas, or header, navigation. These are all like called as HTML5 semantics, as I showed in you like at the starting of the video. So HTML5 semantics have like let's use this. So header tag. This will not like have any functionality, but it will define you. Like if you use any headers in your web page, this will define your website that this is like header, and that will help you in like SEOs, and Google will like get more data from a website that this is the header and this is like a for navigation. And we have like a site tag for like any like ads or like providing tags or like the previous and last post in your blog website maybe. Then we have footer tag also for defining footer. These are like basic dive or section tags, okay, but they will define your website, okay, in a good way. We have like article tag also. Article. So if you see any website, then that will be written, the blog will be written in article tag. Okay. Then section, yeah, this is all. You can like create a simple website using these all tags. Okay, like form, a simple form, contact us about this form, a table for showing like your schedule or your timetable. Then we have image for like basic showing images. Okay, and if you want to use any different like in some countries you have like reverse writing style, then you can use this. Okay, yeah, I think this is all. Okay, so this is like a complete HTML from like for an intermediate level. Thanks for watching my video.